Hi, I've had an Aquanta electric water heater controller for about 4 years now, and I wanted to make a quick video while I was removing it, right before I move. So, I've got some pictures of me removing it. So this is a conduit coming into the top of the box, already installed on the top of the water heater. Just noting that a regular crescent wrench, not even like a small crescent wrench, just won't fit that. So I had to grab a slightly bigger one, or you can get a standard combination wrench. Once you remove the 4 front screws, you can remove that plastic, and this is what it'll eventually look like. Kind of. But first, I'm just showing that to remove that nut, you'll need a flathead screwdriver as well as that combination wrench. I'm removing it, so I'm obviously moving it in the opposite direction. But this grounding wire, if we go back and look at page 6 of the manual, and I'll include this link in the description, you can see that the grounding wire actually goes down to where the junction box is in the water heater. So you have a lot of metal right here that this will come into contact with, and it grounds that. That's apparently the way it should be. And although I had mine professionally installed, this is the way that they set it up. And obviously it's not long enough, really. It doesn't look long enough to reach the bottom. But I just wanted to point that out. Ideally, I would ground both. But once again, I'm not an electrician. All I know is turn off your circuit breaker before doing any of this. So this is me just removing the ground wire. Then you just need a smaller flathead screwdriver to remove these live and neutral wires in and out. It's pretty simple. You just have conduit wires coming in. So you have power coming in, and it controls the power going out. Not much to it. And this is just a picture of my circuit breaker. And it is popped. This is for the water heater. And these are the wires removed. So once the wires are removed, you can pull the conduit out. These are solid core wires, so they're going to be a little stiff. Just take your time, and they should pull right out. The same with the bottom, really, but the trick with the bottom is you have to turn the entire unit because that fixture there is attached to the unit. And also you can kind of see 2 wires there. Those are temperature sensors. One sensor went to a pipe on the top of my water heater, and one went to one on the emergency drain, and they just read the temperatures, and I'll show you the temperature readout on the website here soon. But yeah, so this is just me turning the box to unscrew it, and the wires come right out, box comes off. And obviously your first step is probably going to be opening up the junction box if it looks anything like this. A lot of them that I've seen do look like that, but just standard nut driver or socket or wrench. Remove that. Another thing to note, just my water heater had 12 gauge wire. And you can see that the wire coming in through the conduit is a little bit bigger. But that doesn't really affect anything in the long run. Don't worry about that. The wire nuts that you put on there, as long as they're the right general size, you have no problem. And the Aquanta connections, they don't mind either wire gauge. They'll work with either. So this is me just testing the voltage. I have a couple multimeters, and this is me. This is my cheap one. It only goes up to 200, so obviously it is overloaded at 200 since this is a 240 circuit. And yeah, so I was just testing, and although I already knew which ones were live and neutral, this is definitely a very important step in installing it. This just noted, I just wanted to document like there was a nick in the wire installation. It wasn't down to the copper, but I just put a couple turns of electrical tape on there. And this is what the junction box will probably start out looking like for you. A ground wire, which I'm going to clean up a little better than that. And just 2 wire nuts connecting the lives and the neutrals. And then that's how the plate comes off in the first place. It just kind of hinges if you have that setup. Now back to the website. So this is the setup of the website. So fairly basic, not very intimidating. You'll have energy used yesterday, last week, last month. Not much information there. This is what I use a lot. It'll tell you the temperature that it currently is. Obviously, it's not extremely precise, but it gets the job done. And it'll tell you the capacity left in the tank. Especially when you're getting ready to go away, it will basically stop filling it with cold water. And it'll let you drain the tank pretty much. This is also great if you want to drain the water heater. You can just set it to away. It'll stop filling it. And then if you want to turn the little spigot on the bottom and drain the water heater, it's a lot easier that way. The boost I've never used. Pretty easy. It just boosts the temperature if you have, a large family or people coming over or just, unusual circumstances. In the away setting, you can set it to away now. You can set it any date, any hour, or you can set it in the future. It just goes by the hour. Obviously, you can cancel these. The away just stops, stops heating the water. And you can tell it to, what I normally did was I told it I was going to return at like 3 a.m. So it'd start heating up the water at 3 a.m. Off peak, and it'll be ready by 6 a.m. or whenever I get up. But that takes care of the main portion. If you have multiple water heaters, you can view the multiple water heaters right there. But in this page, you just have the status section, which was what we were looking at, the usage, and the performance. And the usage is really the best part because you can break it down by day, month, year, and they keep all kinds of data. They're really good on keeping data. Like I said, I've had this for 4 years. They have every single day all the way back, and it's pretty fast too. And it gives you some trend lines. This is some pretty basic information. You don't really need it, but it's nice to have. It makes it look nice. This is really basic. It's just a switch to change it from efficient to most efficient. And obviously you can see it's changing right now, and then it's done, and it's changing right now again, and it's done. So if you want to change that, it's really easy. I normally kept it on most efficient. I've never had any problems. And yeah, that kind of concludes everything. Overall, I probably didn't need it, but it was fun to mess around with. It definitely gave me an idea of how much energy I was using. And you can actually see I put a water heater insulator around it. I can't remember exactly when I did it, but you can kind of see that my energy usage went down a bit. You have like 155 kilowatt hours in January, and obviously that depends on the temperature outside as well. And then you have around 80 in the summer months. And yeah, I was able to knock that down quite a bit. If you don't already have one, definitely insulate around the outside of your water heater. it costs $20 and it'll save you way more than that. So yeah, that's about everything. Thanks for watching.